Well, I'm looking forward to coming to the FSC conference in Cairns, and particularly the theme of the conference is accelerate. And accelerate is a terrific word. It's an action word. It talks about exactly what we need to do in highly competitive environments, in changing, shrinking markets. We can't even just change anymore. We have to accelerate change in a real Darwinian way. And so I'll be talking in particular about innovation, and not just, that we need innovation, because I think we've all heard that kind of exhortation for many years now, but what can we do to accelerate innovation, not only to survive in industry, but to grow, and that's what we're all here for. So what do we mean by innovation? Innovation is the more recent catchword, but there have been phrases like creativity, and change and all those things over the years. And I think all of us in industry and in business realize that just when we get things comfortable and nice and working smoothly, the environment changes. The expectations of the market change, conditions change, consumers change, whether it was the introduction, the digital disruption of the internet and other things in recent years, government regulations and globalization and so on. Many, many things, constantly chaotic, changing, cacophonous marketplace around the world, a really rough and boiling sea, and we're in our various boats and vessels navigating away, not only, as I say, trying to survive, but trying to grow. And it's by far anything other than smooth sailing. So innovation and accelerating innovation is not really a luxury, something we can do on Sundays, when we've got a bit of time. It should be first thing, Monday morning, start of business, exactly what we do, all of this, all day long, all week. Now, let's look at a couple of companies that are doing it well. I did a lot of work in the 80s with Jack Welch at General Electric. At the time, Jack had taken over as chairman a 100-year-old, huge, bureaucratic, silo-driven organisation, and of course, fast forward 10 years, and he's famous for building it into the most valuable company in the history of the world at that time. Grew at 4,000% with a tremendous return to his shareholders, which is what it's all about. I worked with him for 4 years in introducing what I call X10 thinking. It's a form of lateral thinking, innovation thinking, strategic thinking, thinking outside the square. That's the main thing. And rather than using words, we use measurement, which is the power of 10. 10 power, the power of powers of 10, multiplying things by 10 can be dividing things by 10 too, but using decimal power to get moving, to get acceleration. And Jack we did a program called GEX10. What if you multiply GE by 10? At the time, it was a $35 billion manufacturer, looking at everything from light bulbs to locomotives. By the time he finished, let's say, he more than multiplied it by 10. But this was something that he really got behind. And in those days, we didn't have the internet. We had slide projectors. Some of you might remember 30 or 40 slide projectors coordinated, back screened, and we'd take these big shows on the road, and we teach executives and people right across the GE world X10 thinking, something that ultimately Jack called the simplest idea in the world. So what we need to do with innovation is not just say we need it and exhort people, we need a technology. Now, the main thinking software that most of us in the Western world have is 2,500 years old. It's Greco-Roman logic. It's about thinking inside the square. It's the right-wrong system. And we see it nowhere better than in Canberra. All the people on one side say, no, we're right and you're wrong. And then all the people on the other side, they're saying, no, we're right and you're wrong. And all that does is keep them fighting and cancelling each other out. We hope that somewhere from the ashes will rise a safer and a more productive future. Now, we just can't afford to keep doing that kind of ancient thinking software. So what we do is we upgrade the software of the thinking in the organization, the brain software, if you like. Of course, the brain is the most amazing machine in the universe, and everyone's got one. It's a million times more powerful than the desktop computers that we use, but it's the software. We're using 2,500-year-old software. So the strategy, the approach, is to teach people how to think outside the square, and we do this with X10 thinking, and that's what I'll be talking about at the conference.